All right, so we are holding chapter 88. Concluding chapter 88 this week. It's the first bulk of Muktzah laws. We continue with some more in chapter 89, but the main bulk of Muktzah laws is here in chapter 88. Shmuel running. All right, Shmuel and Moshe Gutman are joining. We'll give them a second.
Present.
All right. So the main bulk of Muktzah laws are here in 88. We know about the different categories of Muktzah and different laws. And we are finishing the last few halachas. We're up to halacha 15. And then we will do a review. So halacha number 15, mace. A corpse, a dead body, that obviously has no use on Shabbos, something you can do with it. So also a taltal b'Shabbos cannot be handled on Shabbos. What you can do, Shmuel dropped out. You can, you try to keep a corpse in the as cold as possible, so it won't start rotting. So you could, if it's laying on a bed, you could slip. You can't take the corpse off the bed, put it on the floor, but you could slip the mattress out from under him, and it will fall on the floor. As long as you're not moving any limb of the actual body. If the mouth of the corpse is progressively opening, you tie the jaw. You cannot close the jaw, but you tie the jaw to prevent it from opening anymore. So you tie it in place. Yeah. You can't tie it shut however much is open. Instead, stay open until after Shabbos. But you tie something around so it won't open anymore. We cannot close it. You have to tie it in a way that will close what is already open. Because if you tie it tight enough to actually close the mouth, you're moving the limb. You're causing the corpse to move, and that is forbidden because it's Muktzah. So there are certain leniencies that we have by a corpse that don't apply by other cases because of cover the mace, because of respect for the deceased. There's certain leniencies, but we don't hold that all rules are waived. Or is still the rule of Muktzah, you still cannot move the actual corpse. Halacha 16, in Mufad the lake, if a fire broke out in an area. So obviously, Akiva asks, does not moving a limb mean actually manipulating it by hand? If moving the mattress causes a limb to move, how can one remove the mattress? Yeah, so moving it means obviously moving it. You're directly causing it to move. You're manipulating it by hand, or directly causing it, because obviously there's no way of moving the mattress without the corpse moving. There's no way it's getting from the mattress to the floor without moving. But you cannot directly manipulate it by hand or directly cause.
Hey, Rabbi, wasn't there something last week where you were able to move something on the table by moving the tablecloth and knocking it off that way?
So you can move something, we say, in an indirect manner.
So is this similar, you think?
It's, along the same lines.
Okay.
All right, halacha 16, and Mufad the lake, if there's a fire in the area, the Uraim Shloisar from Mason, the word the fire will spread to this house and burn the corpse as well. Mutar and Lataltle Agav Dvarheta, you could move it as because of a permitted item. What does that mean? The Hainish Menichim Olav Etzla they put on top of the corpse or next to the corpse. A Dvar Michael, some food item with Talta Shneim B'Yachad, so then you're moving the food item. To move the food item, you have to move the corpse as well. So you're doing a trick. But if there's no food that you could use, when Nichan love is a kli or malbush or matar matiltu, then you can put a garment or some other utensil which is permitted to use on Shabbos, and you move the corpse because you're anyways moving the permitted item. If you don't even have that, nothing around, it's just in a room by itself. You can move the body by itself. So what's the reason? The Kitzur doesn't bring the reason. The reason brought in the Talmud is because a mourner, is very concerned about the corpse. If you tell him that you can't move the corpse, he's going to extinguish the fire. It's not going to let the fire burn the corpse. So the rabbis were more lenient in their decree of Muktzah to avoid the mourner, God forbid, desecrating Shabbos. Now, either way, whether there is that food item there or there isn't, whatever way you're doing it, you can only move the corpse to an area which could be allowed to carry there on Shabbos. You can't bring him out to a public domain because you cannot violate a biblical prohibition to save a corpse. You can only violate the rabbis that made the prohibition. They said in this case we're going to be lenient. They can't violate a biblical prohibition. But let's say the only option is to take him out to a public domain. So the only way to do it is to have a non-Jew do it for him. Again, in a normal circumstance, that would be forbidden by a rabbinic decree. You can't ask a non-Jew to do a malacha for you. In this scenario, they're more lenient because they don't want someone to go ahead and extinguish the fire to save the corpse. All right. That's about that. Now we move on to the next thing. Next thing is, start with the question. Shabbos afternoon, Shabbos morning, and your garbage can is full. Your wife asks you to take out the garbage. Now Moshe Chaim is always looking for an excuse not to take out the garbage. We know Moshe Chaim. And he looks in the garbage, and what is it? It's dirty plates and nut and peels and different type of garbage and dirty diapers. He looks at this. He looks in there. He says, "I'm sorry, I can't move this. It's Muktzah. Dirty diapers are Muktzah on Shabbos. Peels and shells are Muktzah on Shabbos. Dirty plastic plates are Muktzah on Shabbos. So I can't move this trash. I'll have to wait till tonight." Is that correct or is that not correct? Moshe Chaim says he likes the idea.
I am very good with taking out the garbage, Rabbi. I don't know where you got this impression, but I imagine. Okay, I'll posit something. I'll put something forth and see what you think. By leaving the garbage in the house, you're sort of destroying your Shabbos atmosphere, and maybe it would be allowed to push the garbage down in the can.
You hit the nail on the head.
It happens once in a millennia. Okay. Good.
All right, so let's see about something. Let's see about anything dirty, any filth. Halacha 17. Called over matuna of anything dirty, disgusting. You're feces, vomit, excrement. Bein shel adam, bein shel tanagoylim, whether it's human or from an animal, from a chicken. Im heim b'bayis nebachatz, this disgusting thing is in your house or in your courtyard. Where people are sitting there. Mutar leitziyam la'ashpela, take them out to a garbage, to outside garbage. Obviously, again, we're only discussing the muktzah, not the carrying. Carrying is no way around. Talking about the muktzah, you're allowed to take out this disgusting thing to the garbage. When you take out this chamber pot, or this, they used to guess they have had different types of chamber pots for different things. When you're taking it out, you take it to the trash pile, you empty it, and as long as you're holding that chamber pot still in your hand, you can bring it back inside to your outhouse. You didn't call muktzah like any muktzah we said before. Any muktzah that you're allowed to move for whatever reason, but as long as it's still in your hand, you're allowed to handle it, you're allowed to keep on moving it. Once you picked it up in a permitted fashion, you can move it to wherever you want. But let's say you emptied it in the trash pile and then you put down the chamber pot. Also, you can't pick it back up. Because it's extra. It's something which is extra disgusting, a chamber pot. Bigar misham muktzah machmas miyas, and it's worse. It's more stricter than other items which would fall in the category of muktzah. It's muktzah because of repulsiveness. Something which is muktzah because it's repulsive are generally permitted to be handled on Shabbos. But a chamber pot is stricter than that. It has like extra level of disgusting. However, if they need a chamber pot for, to preserve human dignity, they need to use it. Then you could bring it back even if you put it down. Same thing if technically it would be possible to put water in there and feed an animal out of it, then you could bring it back even if it's not necessary for immediate use, because it has some sort of use. It has some sort of Shabbos use besides for its disgusting use. So in short, if anything is disgusting in your house, you could bring it outside. Again, carrying issues is a totally separate issue. Carrying there's no loopholes with carrying. But we're talking about you have your garbage cans in your front yard, it's a gated area, or in your backyard, or in your garage. You're allowed to take the garbage out, you're allowed to take any dirty diapers out, all these type of things, because you're allowed to move on Shabbos, allowed to clear out things that are disgusting. That is the halacha. All right, halacha 18. Muta litin kli tachas adalaf b'Shabbos. You're allowed to put a container under a leaking. How subjective is a category of disgusting? It's a good question. It's a good question. I guess if it's disgusting you, it depends. If it's bothering you. All right, halacha 18. Mutalitin kli tachas dalaf b'Shabbos. Allowed to put a container under a leaking roof on Shabbos. Even the small, if it gets filled up with water, you can pour it out and bring it back to its place to round 2. But this only applies if the leaking water, you will be fine using that for a bath or to wash your dishes. However, if the water is disgusting, like most dripping ceilings nowadays, cannot put a utensil there on Shabbos. Why? Because in the previous halacha, we have this chamber pot, disgusting thing. But once it's already there, you could clear it out. Over here, you're making the utensil into a chamber pot type of thing. You're taking a perfectly clean and perfectly fine utensil, and you're setting it up to become something disgusting to enable you to take it out. You don't go and do that l'chatchila. Vim over in the sun, if you went and already did that. Uhu b'makim demois love and sitting in the middle of your dining room. It's disgusting. You just have this container of brown water or muddy water. Mutalaitzia, you can take it out. If you already didn't listen to the instructions, you already put it there, you can take it out. Now, the Kitzur says in parentheses that the laws of Muktzah by a great loss could be found in chapter 85, halacha 4, which means you learned it already, which means everyone should remember that, right? And the laws of Muktzah on Yom Tif and the Muktzah when an item for a mitzvah, so like a shofar, will be explained each in their own place by the laws of Yom Tif and the laws of shofar and other places. Who remembers chapter 85, halacha 4? So I'll give you a hint. Over there, we're talking about the laws of a fire that broke out on Shabbos. And the kids are discussing. So he said, if your house is on fire, God forbid, you cannot take anything out, right? You have very specific ways you can take something out. Let's say the fire is by next door neighbor. We said you're allowed to clear out your house, right? Because to protect your stuff. What the kids would say over there about Muktzah items, about wallets, about the other thing like that. The kids are also discussed over there a flood or other items or robbery. I don't recall what the Kitcher said. Moshe, you have to turn your mic.
Yeah. It says some of, I'm looking at it, okay, I'm cheating. But it says that some authorities permit it and some don't, basically, to carry muktzah, like some valuable thing out. So they say that some may be saved from some sudden great loss. And they say that you can put food upon a muktzah item and carry them out in that manner. And in this case, and there are other authorities that are more lenient, saying just get it out of there, etc.
So two opinions. One opinion says you can take your wallet out, but you have to first put an apple or a piece of bread on top. Like, other opinion says, no, just grab your wallet and go out. That opinion, the second opinion holds that if it's a case of a great loss, a sudden loss that was preventable, muktzah is not applied. The sages waived the muktzah. That
Right.
is discussed over there.
Now, if you look at my wallet, it would not be even a minor loss. So we just
The credit cards get replaced. All right. So now, if everyone could go to their WhatsApp and download the chart. We have this. We have this chart. Everyone can see this. So we're gonna do now. Let's do it this way. If everyone could open the chart on their own computer, and then we'll go through the categories. Everyone will fill them out by themselves quietly, and then we'll share the answers at the end, so we get to embarrass more people. I'm just kidding. All right. Let us begin. So we'll go through the top line, the types of muktzah, different categories. We learned about the categories of muktzah, and we will go through them one by one. I use the Hebrew terms over here, and we'll explain what they mean. Number one, muktzah machmas gufay. It's muktzah, something you set aside in your mind. You're not going to use it on Shabbos. It has no Shabbos use. That's category number one. Category number two is noilad. Noilad means it was born. Something which came into being on Shabbos or came into present state on Shabbos. Number three, kli shemalachta le'isur, a utensil whose primary function is a forbidden act. Number four is muktzah machmais chesron kis, a item which is muktzah because you're scared it's expensive, you're scared you're going to ruin it. Number five is kli shemalachta leheter, a utensil whose primary use is something permitted. The last example is really a subcategory of number five is food and svarim. Let's start with here. Try to give an example of each one. Everyone can write on their own chart. Don't worry, we're not grading anybody. Sometimes I bark, I don't never bite. My father doesn't bite either, but he barks a bit more than me. So I might pass on the test results to him. We'll have to see. we won't tattle much time. Don't worry. So if everyone can try to think of an example where you brought the kids abroad, we discussed of each of these categories. So you have 5 out of 6. The 6th one is obviously food and svarim. We try to think of I'll give a minute. Everyone could put down an example of each of these categories. We have the chat. I can't see the chat like that. Let's see. What happens? Kitzur stays in Kitzur. All right. Anyone needs more time? All right. Now for the next 4 lines, you just need to X or a check. Permitted or forbidden. So now, question: could you use these categories for you have a permitted use for this category for this item? You want to use it for something permitted on Shabbos. You want to use it somehow to serve your food or to prepare your food. Are you allowed to use the item to serve or prepare your food? So is it yes or no? In an item which has no Shabbos use, the item which came into existence on Shabbos, an item whose primary use is a forbidden activity, an item whose expensive item, an item which primary use is a permitted use, and food and farm. Yes or no? You go through this, yes or no. Are you allowed to, again, I gave an example, use the item to serve your food or to prepare your food? Use it for a permitted use. All right. Next line. This item in question is sitting on your chair, on your dining room chair, and you want to sit on that chair. Are you allowed to pick up the item and remove it from the chair so you can sit down there? Yes or no? With a item that has no Shabbos use, with an item that came into existence on Shabbos, a utensil's primary use is forbidden, a expensive item, item whose primary use is permitted, and food and farm. All right. Next line. The item in question is in your backyard, and it's starting to rain. You're scared that the item is going to get ruined, or you're scared that it's going to get broken by a child, or you're scared it's going to get stolen. You're protecting the item. You're safeguarding the item. Are you allowed to move the item for that reason? If you bring it inside your house, all 6 of these categories, are you allowed to move it for that reason, to protect, to safeguard it? Any answer is acceptable. But I'm not giving grades. So if you argue it depends, if you say I was wrong, it's not yes or no, go for it. All right, final line is for no purpose. You're just playing with it. Are you allowed to move this item in question for no purpose? You don't have a reason to, but you're just moving it. All righty. Who should we pick on first? Who's willing to share? Who's willing to be the brave one and share their chart? Anyone? Nobody? Come on. Oh, you wrote it down over there. Anyone typed it on the computer? Nobody? All right, so we'll have to go through it outside. Who's willing to share? Mike, you want to share a chart orally? Should we do that? Wait, you have to turn your mic. And if anyone disagrees with him, just shout it out. So let's unmute everybody.
I'm not going for right. I'm just going to get it out there. Okay, the first case. Well, examples, just going across examples like money, eggs, a hammer, a guitar.
Say each one. So say one would be.
Okay, just example.
Yeah. So
Muktzah that has no purpose on Shabbos would be like money, right? Dollar bill, right? Something that's no odd would be like an egg that just was hatched. Yeah, right. Is be a hammer, right?
Yeah, Muktzah kiss.
A guitar, specifically Yehuda's guitar, no one else's. And the last one, that's something that's permitted and has Shabbos use, might be a fork or something, you're going to eat at your table with.
Very good. Anyone have any other examples I want to share?
A pan for
Any other category.
Lesser.
A pan, would a pan be a klish malach d'lisur?
Yeah.
No.
A pan?
A
writing
pan,
pan?
A cooking pan. A cooking pan.
Not
a
a pan, a pen.
Oh,
a pen. A pen.
Yes. Okay.
So
Yeah.
a pen would be a cooking pan would be a klish malach d'lisur or leheter. It has both a forbidden use and a permitted use, and that would automatically push it into the more lenient category.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else have any more examples? Come on, guys. Nobody else?
Right. Muktzah machmas gufo would be something like broken window, sticks, soil, something like that.
Very good. Yep, 100%.
No ice is a good example.
That's true. Yes, correct.
On Shabbos, yeah. Klish malach d'lisur. You mentioned pencils, pens, toothbrush, maybe saw, screwdriver, something like that. Machmas Siman kiss. That would be a delicate measuring instrument. I think we've run an example of one of Moshe Gutman's instruments.
Right.
Expensive camera, knife, klish malach d'leheter, lots of things, furniture, toys like blocks, something like that.
Yep, 100%. All right, let's go to the next line. So I'll pick back on Moshe Gutman.
Oh boy.
Could you move the item if you want to use the item somehow to prepare your meal or to serve your food?
I mean, to prepare your food, I would say the first one. I mean, could you stir your soup with a dollar bill? I don't think so. So I would say no. The second
could you
one.
Take Moshe, I'll give you. Could you take a twig from outside to stir your soup, or to use as a toothpick?
I would be inclined to say no, but it could be wrong because I'm not guaranteeing I'm right. I'm just picking answers. I would say no.
Just shoot for it, and we don't bite.
Yeah, I would say no. I would say no. That
correct.
Right. The second one, we had like a hammer. If you want to break a nut, you could.
The second one, this hammer would be the third one.
I'm sorry. No, I would say. Can you move? No. Can you move? Can you move an egg? Maybe you can to set it aside, but
you can protect the egg, but you can't move it.
Okay, and it's not going to help you with your food anyhow.
So let's use another example now. Let's say you had a branch that fell off your tree. You want to use it as a again. Let's use a toothpick. You want to use it as a toothpick, or you want to use it as a fork?
Yeah,
it fell off the tree.
We know you can't. We know you can't do that. Yeah.
Correct. You cannot do that.
Right. The third category, we take the hammer, and the answer is again, you could use it to crack nuts.
Yes. So this is no, yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, isn't that it depends on that?
Why it depends?
I mean, let's say you have a pen sitting on a chair, and you can't pick up the pen and move it. But if you can tilt the chair or otherwise move it using a shinui, you can move the pen and, put it on the floor, maybe reach up there.
You're going into the next line if you need the area. Right now we're talking about, let's say you use the pen to use it as a fork.
No.
Not very hygiene.
No.
So Akiva says no, Moshe says yes.
Can you use a
That's-
pen as a fork?
Let's say for some reason this guy's using a pen. as a fork.
Stab your
Well,
piece
yeah,
of meat
I
with it
think
and
so.
eat it off
Have
the
your
pan?
food with a fork?
I would say
Yeah.
yes, because it's the same example as a hammer for a nutcracker.
I
That's
agree
correct.
with that.
That is
Yeah.
correct. A item whose primary use is forbidden, you're using it for permitted item for permitted use is fine. You can use a pen to use as a fork if, for whatever weird reason,
Right.
a hammer to smash nuts,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
saw to cut your meat, whatever it is.
Use my, where's my camera?
Okay.
My wife cooks. I may need a saw to cut
I'm not
my
gonna
meat.
use my fountain pen to stab it. Thick. I don't think so.
This is Moshe's Shabbos fork right there.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
And could you use Yehuda's guitar as serving platter?
that'd be great to eat off it.
What do you say?
Where'd Yehuda go?
Yehuda's mic is off. He's scared.
I think
It
it
should be.
doesn't it depend on what the item is, you know, it's
We have
like,
the categories, all the category of something expensive, something
From what I know, you can't use expensive items for any purpose.
How about,
Like you can't use them to crash nuts or whatever.
so that is correct. Something
Yeah.
which is expensive, you're not allowed to handle at all.
right.
all right,
Now, could you use a fork to serve your eat your food?
I would hope you
Well,
do.
yeah,
So yes. And could you use your food to
your fork.
eat your fork? Yes, as well. All right.
Okay.
Next line, you have your dining room chair. On your dining room chair is sitting this item in question. Could you move it to sit down on the chair?
Yeah.
So how about you have a clump of earth sitting on your dining room chair? Could you pick it up and move it off?
No, you can't pick it up and move it out, but you could use a shinui to get it off the chair.
So Akiva, a shinoi, it applies across the board. So a shinoi is not like, doesn't go into this chart. It's like it's a loophole to get around everything. But we're talking about
the
picking it up and
answer
moving
is-
off the chair.
Yes, the answer is yes. You can pick it up. You can pick anything up if it's on your chair and move it, I believe.
So Akiva was right in this one.
Oh,
X.
one for Akiva. Don't
No, you love.
don't let it
Wouldn't you
get
just
Akiva.
tip the chair over to get it off the chair? Would that?
So
be
my,
the
yeah,
best-
so Akiva mentioned the same thing, but so that is called you're moving it indirectly. Moving it indirectly works across the board. It's like the
Okay.
winning bingo card. Works everywhere. The Joker. So it's not
That's
really
the
it doesn't go into the categories. That's moving Muktzah, moving a forbidden item indirectly. That's fine.
Okay.
Talking about moving it directly. Okay, you have a apple which was picked today, it was off the tree today, sitting in a dining room chair. Could you remove it to sit down there?
Mhm.
I would say yes. And
So Moshe says yes, I don't argue. Akiva says no. So
No.
Akiva's winning this round.
Akiva, man, you're making me look bad. Okay.
How about a hammer? Can you take the hammer off the chair?
No,
No,
no.
oh man, I want to sit in that chair. I can't.
Yeah, yes, you can.
I thought you
can.
could pick it up and move it anywhere you wanted once you picked it up.
So actually,
Yeah, the hammer you-
Moshe and Yehuda are right over here. Yes, you
You can
can.
only move it if you've got for permitted use.
Or
Uh,
for permitted use or for the space.
you want to sit there. Yeah.
You want to sit there, you can move a hammer or a pen or
Okay.
Okay.
could you take Yehuda's guitar off the chair?
Yes.
No.
I'm not.
Yeah.
sure about
Yeah, same
Yes,
as, the-
it's
Oh, no.
yes for the
that.
space.
I would never touch a guitar. You kidding?
As
Mike
long
is
as you
right
don't
over
break-
here. We're 2 for 2. Moshe got 2, Akiva got 2. We're in tight
Okay.
race over here.
But if you break the
Not-
string, don't fix it.
Yeah.
The Muktzah machas chesed in case you can't move that guitar or the wallet or the sofa's pen or the specialized item off a chair if you want to sit there.
Right.
Now, could you pick up a fork off a chair?
Why not?
You sure hope so. Why not?
Yes.
Yeah,
And if you pick up a safer off your chair, why
Sure.
not? All right, pick the item. The item is sitting outside. It's about to rain on it. Could you move? So let's say the example Moshe gave. Could you move some dollar bills? Or could you move some raw meat from your
No.
backyard?
You can
Nope.
remove Tefillin.
Wait, are you moving it to
can
protect
put
it?
tefillin.
I mean, that sounds like it's the category of protected.
Huh?
When you say it that way, you wrote on this chart for no purpose, but now you're adding to it.
That's the next line. You're mixing up.
I
the
thought
two
we
lines.
just went over to protect the item. No?
No, we just went over you moving.
Okay,
the-
I'm confused.
Historic, McCall.
Okay. No shall be seized to protect the item.
Can you move your raw steak from your backyard because it's about to be eaten by your dog?
Nope.
I'm not sure, because you can move tefillin. I know you're allowed to protect your tefillin, and that's a very
Tefillin,
definite-
tefillin actually is the third category of klisha malachta le'isur. Tefillin is a utensil. Here we're talking about something which has no actual use.
You say tefillin?
It's a klisha malachta le'isur. It's a utensil. Just it's not used on Shabbos.
Right, okay.
So how about, let's say, the raw steak? The raw steak is this category. Could you move your raw steak to get it away from your dog?
Guess the dog's gonna have a fine meal.
Oh, that's what's wrong. My chart is missing a line.
Oh.
The one I
Okay.
downloaded is missing a line.
My bad.
That's why I'm confused.
All right. So Moshe says no. Moshe is correct. You cannot. The steak is going to be eaten by a dog.
Okay.
Could you move? You have a basket of apples sitting in the back. You give it
A
was
basket of them or a single one?
a single apple, basket apple. It was picked today.
I thought a basket because you could hold it by the handles and it's different.
That's you
Oh,
still
okay.
no. That's considered moving the muktzah.
Okay,
Your basket of apples that was picked today by a non-Jew, and your dog is about to eat them, or your child's about to pour them all over. Who knows what? Could you bring them inside and put them on a shelf?
No.
Well, wouldn't that be okay? Because like if you
I would think maybe, I don't know.
like if you
Not
have
focused.
cows, you milk the cows,
No.
and then you're allowed to put the milk, I guess, in a fridge or something to keep it safe. So you
So
can use
boy,
it later.
actually remembering something we learned about milking, right? But we said that you're allowed to milk the cows because of not to cause the cows pain, but you have to let the milk
Right.
run on the ground.
Right.
Right.
That's for other reasons. For Shabbos, because milking is its own prohibition.
Mhm.
I thought they were able to save it, but you couldn't do anything with it until after Shabbos.
So they can't save it for a different reason, for a separate reason that if you save it, you're doing the proper milking, and proper milking is forbidden on Shabbos.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can protect a no-lod.
Yes or no? What was that?
I'm gonna say
No.
I'm going against
can't
the
move
grain.
it to
Now I don't know
protect it.
anymore.
You can cover it to protect it, but you can't move it to protect it. It's like a chicken egg. You can't move the chicken egg, but you can put a bowl over the chicken egg to protect it.
Yes, that's 100% correct. You cannot move the item. You can cover it. You cannot move it. Okay, you have your hammer sitting outside, or your pen. Your child's about to break
Yeah,
it.
probably not.
So Yehuda says no. Moshe says no. That is correct. You cannot. Yehuda's guitar is outside. It's about to rain on it, or his younger brother is about to smash it. Could he move it?
You better
Yes.
move it, yeah.
Nope. That is correct.
He can't move it? Oh, I'm so sorry,
No.
Yehuda.
How about your plates are sitting in your sukkah, and you're leaving, and the children are about to break the plates. You bring them back inside the house to protect them. Your china plates.
Oh, why not? They're,
You move, yeah, you can move Shabbat for any reason.
Or
So either is right. You can move please from a heter for any reason. So you're moving it to protect it. That's fine. Food and svarim.
Yes.
Yes, that is correct. How about for no purpose? You're just moving it to because you for no good reason.
No,
So have a no. How about the noilad?
no,
No. Please from itzer.
No.
No.
Looks like, oh, no.
You heard of the guitar?
No, don't touch it.
How about the klishim laheta? Could you move your pots and pans, your forks
Yes.
for no good reason?
I'm not
yes.
sure, for no good reason?
For no good reason, no reason.
You just feel like playing with a fork?
Right?
It's okay, I don't know.
So Yehuda's shaking his head, and Yehuda's correct. You cannot. This is the only time it's forbidden to move your forks or your pots and pans if it's for no reason. How about your food? food itself or svarim can be moved for no good reason.
For no good reason?
You know,
Yeah.
like just to play with your food. or move
Yes.
Potatoes to one side, that's probably.
Yes, so the answer is yes. You can move it even if you have no good reason. So let's take a screenshot of this and let's put it on the group
All right.
and we will save that. All right, that is the summary of the Muktzah laws. Again, no way to avoid the Muktzah laws on Shabbos. Everything you deal with is running into one of those categories, unless you're only dealing with food and books on Shabbos. You're not touching a single other thing. Most of us are touching other items on Shabbos, so you have to know, I mentioned with Alter Rebbe last time, what is the laws of Muktzah are, or you're going to make a mistake. All right, have a great evening, and see you all on Thursday when we continue on the next discussion of Muktzah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Be well,
thank you.
everyone. Be well, Yehuda.